Center console. There's screws on each side. I've already pulled those. Move the boot from on top to underneath, and then pull up. Okay, center console's out of the way. Now the bolts. Remove the bolts for the center console bracket and remove that out of the way. The bracket's out of the way. This is the inner boot. Pull the inner boot out of the way. And the instructions say to push down and rotate counterclockwise. I'm supposed to push down on the gear shift control case cover. Shifter case cover right there. Pushed it down really hard. Turned it counterclockwise. And it looks like maybe 1/8 of a quarter of a turn, and it popped out. So now the shift lever should come out. Shifter's removed. It doesn't look like there's any excess wear. Nothing bad, at least. I'm covering it to protect it. It's probably best to use plastic, but at least I can take this and burn it rather than fill a landfill with it. Can't really clean all the grease off the plastic and recycle it. The new shifter, bushing, and the ball bushing have arrived. I ordered these from Low Range. Now, I called and confirmed. They said that they are made from nylon, which is supposed to be much more resistant to contact with gear oil as opposed to the regular nylon ones you get at the factory. And they do look very different than the ones that I picked up at Napa. The ball bushing, it's much thicker. I haven't tried it yet, but it definitely is thicker than the one that was too skinny and too small from Napa. And the shifter bushing, it looks like it's a lower profile compared to the one from Napa, which would be great because I was not able to get the shifter in place. I couldn't push it down to lock it in place, and I think it was because the shifter bushing from Napa was actually too tall. Well, it seems to slot in just fine. So now I'm going to place it inside the transmission. I'll put some more grease on this and reinsert. I'd suggest doing this with longer needle nose, but I don't own any, so this will have to do. Well, barely fits through that, so that's a good sign. The other one, the one from Napa, just fell right in. I'm using the screwdriver to position it. Be careful it doesn't fall. I don't know that it can clear that area, but I think it can. So it might fall inside the transmission. And there we go. It fit perfect. Getting it back out is going to be a pain if anything's wrong with it. And now the shifter seal, bushing. Make sure it goes underneath those bolts. And make sure it's the right direction. You want the circular part that it's going to cup on the shifter, you want that on top. See, the bottom is flat. And I'm just going to tuck it in right around there and right in place. It's a tiny bit smaller than the shaft opening. I would think that that's okay. And then squish it in place a little. It'll seat better once the shifter is pushed in. And I'm just getting some of this grease on top, make it a little easier on me. And now I'm going to add some more grease in here. and then attempt to insert the shifter. I've added a lot of extra grease in there, and I'm about to reinsert the shifter. Now I'm going to be careful not to bump anything so I don't end up knocking the bushing out of the way. The shifter bushing, the ball bushing should be perfectly fine. Grease kind of got everywhere, so I'm going to see if I can do this with my latex gloves instead of my grippy work gloves. And it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, grippy work gloves. Okay, back to the grippy work gloves. Okay, I cleaned it off with some degreaser because grippy gloves don't go well with grease. Okay, and it's locked in place. Oh yeah, it's definitely locked in place. It's tighter. Out of gear. In gear. Yeah, it's a lot tighter. Now, reinstall. Place the boots back in where they were. Make sure they go going over the transmission sleeve. And then put the ring back on. And flip this back. Sorry, I think hopefully they didn't move. But yeah, reinstall everything, all the brackets, and then go for a test drive. Make sure the boot, the little notches go into the hole, that notch, on each side. And reinstall the way it came out. And you're all done.